GUARROMÁN. Many of you have told me to go to this site. So here we go. I can't believe it. Created as part of a king's project. Why GUARROMÁN? What are the inhabitants called? And most importantly, do they shower? I'm kidding, but I had to make that joke. This town has a very strange name, but it also has history. Did you know that the first inhabitants of the town were Germans and not Castilians? Definitely. Today, we will learn a lot from this trip. I missed you guys. I missed having an adventure with you. This adventure does not end, this has only just begun. Join us on this trip to GUARROMÁN. Welcome to iLeoVlogs. GUARROMÁN, Miadero de la Reina, Philippine. All the names exist and are towns of Spain. Curious about it? Welcome to GUARROMÁN. Hello, how are you? Welcome back to iLeoVlogs. Thank you for watching this video and for being a part of the family. Welcome to the best YouTube series where we travel to the towns in Spain with the strangest names. But first, we had to choose the RV that was going to accompany us on this adventure. Well, yes sir, we are here again. I missed you. I missed going on an adventure with you, buddy. I missed you, yes sir. Let's go. There's a wasp. I got it out of the car. No. It's alive. You want to know a curiosity that we discovered before we started? Right now I was opening Google Maps so that it could tell me how to get to our destination, GUARROMÁN, and look what happens when speaking I tell it to guide me to GUARROMÁN. GUARROMÁN. I must write it, because GUARROMÁN spoken, Google Maps takes it as an insult and does not understand it. How surreal. It had been 2 weeks since our last trip to Pelis de Arriba and Pelis de Abajo, and I was dying to get to our destination. We were heading to GUARROMÁN, Jaén province, and I was wondering how it was going to be. And when we arrived, I can't believe it, I can't believe it. It had a lot more movement than we expected.
I expected everything except this.
Except this.
When we planned everything, it was the last thing I expected.
As in all our trips, before arriving, we are going to answer some questions saying what we think we are going to find in GUARROMÁN. I wasn't expecting what we just saw to begin with, so I'll say that at least we will see a more active town than the one in the previous chapter. There is no one in town, we haven't seen anyone in the 15 minutes we've been walking around. I would be lying if I did not tell you that the first thing I think is, dirty.
I have no idea.
I am very sure that all the towns have it. And, of course, GUARROMÁN will be no different.
I think it will have the basics, a typical village church and little else.
Are we right? What will we find there? Before going to town I had to go see what was happening with so many trucks. I was very surprised that in this industrial zone in front of GUARROMÁN that is back there. In this industrial area there are chickens. I don't see anything wrong with that, but I am surprised that there are chickens. I swear I haven't seen so many trucks in a long time. I thought there was only up to here, but past the line there is even more. It is a good sign, it means that there is work here and a good economy. And I'm glad because I thought that we would also find ourselves in an uninhabited area and without much activity, but nothing could be further from the truth. This is more alive than. I do not know. I am surprised to see that at the entrance to GUARROMÁN there is a hotel that is here and a hostel that is here. I needed to know more. It was time to ask the people there. Why are there so many trucks?
Because it is a perfect area at the entrance of Andalusia.
The trucker comes the transporter to eat, to dine, to have a snack.
It is seen that our attention is good towards them.
The attention is good.
Yes, and they can give their trust.
Word of mouth, they say, hey, in GUARROMÁN the service is good, it is very good, you eat excellent, you have accommodation, free shower, you have everything in the world of carriers here, so fame has been running from one to another.
As I have been informed, this is Aldea de los Rios, and although it is not GUARROMÁN, it is one of the towns that belongs to it. Well, I couldn't be happier with everything going on here. Are you a truck driver?
Yes.
Because they have told me in that hotel that the area is famous among truckers, that the word spreads, that it is a good area to stop, to eat and to rest.
We discussed the topic of menu prices and the price of coffees.
Do you know GUARROMÁN?
I do not know the town.
Have you entered?
Nope.
Of course, many times.
Yes, I have gone to town, of course.
Why it is called GUARROMÁN?
No idea.
Honestly, no. Honestly, no.
Do you know what is the demonym of GUARROMÁN?
It can be guarro or garance.
No, I don't know either. We'll investigate later.
GUARROMÁNenses, no?
Well, Guaramanero.
GUARROMÁNero.
I think so.
Okay, GUARROMÁNenses, GUARROMÁNeros. These hotels and this restaurant and hostel. Are they usually full?
Yes, almost every night we are full.
Totally full. Here I was scared because I thought my van had broken down, it wouldn't move. The parking brake.
It is often important to release the brake.
Yes, I am a fool. Where is the GUARROMÁN sign? Where we come from, they have told us that this was not GUARROMÁN and that the town was here, but the fact is that we have the village in front of us. Film that. We have the village in front of us and at no time have we found the typical GUARROMÁN sign. Either we have passed it or it does not exist. Well, let's see how this town is. At the moment, we are seeing people, and young people. Don't focus the camera, it might look weird that we're filming young people from a van. Focus me, but I imagine that you can see that there are people. Can you see on camera that there are people?
Yes, you see.
Okay, great. Since in previous chapters we didn't meet almost anyone, I was happy to see a lot of people.
People don't disappear because you're recording them.
They hide.
This child riding a bicycle is not invisible because I am recording him now.
Maybe I'm covering them up. I wanted to record the moment of arriving at the GUARROMÁN signal. I'm thinking that maybe there are several GUARROMÁN entries. Let's look for the GUARROMÁN signal. While looking for another entrance to GUARROMÁN, I saw many establishments in this town, something we did not see in the previous chapters. Another hotel. Another hotel. Now we do have it here, and I'm sorry, but I'm going to take a photo for Instagram. And after the photo we were going to start filming the town, but it rained. So we took the evening relaxing in the van. We went to bed early, but not before trying Mixta's macaroni. I'm going to try the macaroni that Mixta has cooked for me. Keep in mind, and I want you to know, Mixta always hangs medals himself, saying that he cooks very well. Visually they are not appetizing. I'm going to be critical like Master Chef.
But I only have cashew nuts here. I have macaroni and chicken and I don't have more. If I had the kitchen Master Chef, I would make macaroni to die for. It lacks salt. I'm telling you beforehand, it lacks salt. For me it lacks salt.
It's good. The next day it didn't rain anymore and we had a free hand to record. I am seeing that this town has life. There are people, movement, businesses, banks, bars, restaurants, hotels, and one thing that is surprising me a lot is the fact that practically all the houses are white, but I think this is already a fairly typical thing in Andalusia. I had no idea what I had said, but I was liking the vibe that this town had. Suddenly I began to see some things that caught my attention. There were several monuments dedicated to the inhabitants of the town. This square, for example, was dedicated to the first person to be born in GUARROMÁN. Why? I'm seeing that there are a lot of monuments in the city that refer to the generations that have been living here since its creation. I didn't understand why. But I didn't care. Because we were about to find out. When the monument was built, 8 generations had passed since its creation.
Supposedly there are 8 people, or is it nothing to do with it? I deduce that there will be 8 people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, look, 7, 8.
8 people. I had not seen this.
I have an eye for these things.
To find out more about GUARROMÁN, we went to the town hall to see if someone would give us any information brochure, but we got a big surprise. Today we are lucky to have the mayor of the town of GUARROMÁN for this video. Really, a pleasure to have you.
The pleasure is mine that you come to town to meet us.
Where does GUARROMÁN come from? Why GUARROMÁN?
It's very simple. What is the most important river in Andalusia?
The Guadalquivir. Then in Castilla-La Mancha we have the Guadiana and the Guarromán River, Guarromán in Arabic. It means river of the Granados. When Spanishized it stayed in GUARROMÁN. It is true, during the Arab occupation it was called Guarromán. When it became Spanish it became Guadarrama and from there to GUARROMÁN. What is the ethnonym of GUARROMÁN?
Guarromanense.
Guarromanense is not Guarromaneros or Guarros.
We are called in many ways. Guarromanero is said many times, but it is not a demonym, it is Guarromanense.
Now you know, neither Guarros or anything like that. In GUARROMÁN they are called Guarromanenses. In fact we asked the mayor if he had ever been made a joke because of the name of the town and he said yes.
But that's the good thing about the name of the town, it makes everyone remember it.
And it's true, some of you told me in the comments. They told me, go to GUARROMÁN, because many times when I go south I pass by the highway and I see the sign and I always wonder what is there. Now, the most important thing, what can you see in GUARROMÁN?
The most important thing about GUARROMÁN is not what you have to see, but what you have to feel when you come. You are moving to a very unknown part of Spanish history, but one that is extremely important. Since there were no towns from La Mancha to here, this place was empty. It was the most important project of Carlos III, who brought some enlightened ministers and made an agricultural revolution. In order for them to populate these new lands, as Spain had very little population, so as not to depopulate other areas to populate this one, what they did was bring German settlers.
In fact, you have noticed the surname of the firstborn in GUARROMÁN, of the first Guarromanense. We are going to take a historical break and now we will ask about the typical food here.
Do not leave without tasting the famous GUARROMÁN cakes, which are delicious puff pastries.
We will not leave without eating a good GUARROMÁN cake. In fact it was time to eat, so let's see what's on the menu. So we went out to eat at the first bar we found. Is there anything typical of GUARROMÁN other than puff pastries? Attention, here the puff pastry is on the menu, here the puff pastry is included in the menu, we won't have to go buy it later. We will buy another one, I will take a souvenir. And there we are, eating in GUARROMÁN. Although I thought both Pelis de Arriba and Pelis de Abajo were beautiful, I missed being able to find a restaurant because in Pelis de Arriba there were none and in Pelis de Abajo, at least on the day and at the time we went, there were none open, or at least they didn't serve food in the restaurant we went to, so I'm glad we can eat in GUARROMÁN.
I wanted to ask you for a photo.
Okay, cool, no problem. I ordered something light to better enjoy the puff pastry. Here we have the typical puff pastry from GUARROMÁN. Many people know it, so we are going to try it right now. I cut it with the knife.
Sure, that's what it's for.
They have told us that the typical ones are cream and angel hair. I don't like angel hair, so here we have the cream one that is great. Try it. It's delicious. I think I'm going to need a little more time to test it. When we left, we went to a pastry shop that a man from GUARROMÁN recommended to buy one, because it would surely be tastier. You can't imagine how good it smells here. And indeed, I did not record it, but the most delicious ones are from here, they even melted in the mouth. Well, now we have it. Let's enjoy it. I will be honest, with this adventure of the towns with strange names I was learning a lot about Spain. Attention, because our journey does not end here. In the next chapter, we will go to one of the oldest castles in Europe.